do you mean, who the hell are you? It's me. Yeah, that's what happens when you screw up trimming your beard. You have to shave it all off and wait for it to come back in. Anyway, sorry for being absent over the last 7 or 8 weeks. It's been a difficult time for me. However, get back onto the wagon here. This is part 10 of the Luthier's Lair series, detailing the project Jonas build, or Jonas build, for my good friend Jerome in France. Hi Jerome, glad to be back. And we got right up to polishing the base before and installing the frets. I test fitted the neck and everything is good, and that was the last thing I did on the base for a few weeks now. But we're going to get back to it, and I'll show you the test fit. I'll show you what still needs to be done to the neck, and then we're down the home stretch here actually. We'll be shielding the cavities, the pickup cavity and also the cavity for the electronics. So let's go and get on with it. Okay folks, here we are. See, the base has been polished. I don't know if I can get this light onto it properly so you can see the polish. No, not from this angle. But yeah, and like I said, I'd left the neck in there. It's actually been in there for about 6 weeks. So I know it's pretty stable. The neck still needs to be finished. But the work that needs to be done is the frets need to be levelled and recrowned. So we'll get that done. But before we do that, we're going to finish the wood on the back here. It's still unfinished. And that will be boiled linseed oil on the back there to protect the wood. And that won't take long to dry. I'll sand it down to maybe 400 grit. And then we'll put some boiled linseed oil on it. But what I'm going to do today is I am going to shield these cavities from electrical and RF noise, and the way to do that is to use this stuff. This is copper tape, a conductive copper tape that we'll be lining the cavities with here and here. So we'll go and we'll start doing that. It is looking wonderful though. I really do like this base a lot, very much so, and hopefully it's going to sound fantastic as well, but it's looking tremendously good. And as well as a tribute to my wife, this base, it will also be a tribute to John Diggins, who sadly passed a couple of weeks ago. One of my all-time heroes of Luthier. John was an inspiration to everyone, and this is actually inspired by one of John's designs. You'll probably see that immediately. Rest in peace, my friend. Been an awful few months, hasn't it? Anyway, let's get on with it. Okay, sorry about the noise in here, but yeah, first piece is cut, and I'm going to start with the pickup cavity first. Let's sort of cut to length. See, the pickup cavity is wider than the tape, but we'll overlap that when we put the side parts in. After we've put all the tape in here, we will connect up the cavities so that we have a complete circuit. As you notice, there is no bridge grounding wire in there. I was remiss, I guess I had other things on my mind, but we're going to drill one in. And just you have to be extra careful now because the finish is on here, but that's pretty easy to do. You just sort of punch down slightly into the wood where the bridge is going to live, and use an extra long drill bit to drill right through to this cavity, and then that wire will connect up to here too. The circuit will be complete. The bridge will be in contact with the strings, and everything will be nice and hunky-dory. So we're going to go and put this in right now, this piece of tape. And this tape you can kind of bulk buy. Just do a search for copper tape on the internets and you will find a bunch of suppliers out there for very reasonable prices, and I always get good results with this. Doesn't matter if that's slightly off centre, because I'm going to be putting overlaps in here. The way to burnish this down, I usually use a pencil with an eraser on the end here and just rub that down, smooth it out. Now this is better for corners, so you can also use bigger one, these beveled pencil erasers that you can pick up at dollar stores or, you know, the equivalent. Just burnish it down, make sure it's nice and flat, like so. Quite easy, yes. Now we're going to cut the side parts for here, and we'll make sure there's an overlap, and then we'll use a scalpel to trim off the excess. Trimming off the excess, you have to watch because you might scratch the finish. The best thing to do is to put some painter's tape down around here and then use a scalpel to take the excess tape off. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and do this one too, and when I come back this will all be shielded and nice and ready for connecting wires. Cool. Yeah, so again, forgive the noise, cavities are shielded now. Just need to iron out the wrinkly bits a little bit. I don't really need to, but you know, it's better, it looks better. The holes are prepared there, so I'm going to connect this cavity with this one. Then after that, after it's all sized up and ready to go, I'll be drilling a hole on the centre part of the bridge so that I can put a ground wire through to this so that everything's connected up. I took a look at the cover. I mean, I did this a long time ago, so that sits kind of there, and relief as well. That's what Jerome wanted, was a relief based cover. I think it looks splendiferous, except for I've noticed I put finished on it and I haven't polished it yet. So it's been a while. You can see that there, it's not been polished. So I have to polish that still. That's okay. That'll all get connected together. Now we're going to start leveling the threads. Let's go. So it's fret leveling time, and this fingerboard has a 16-inch radius, and I have 500 grit sandpaper on this 16-inch radius sanding block, 8 inches long. That's good enough, and it's just a case of getting these all level. Now what happens, of course, when you sand the frets, the crown, you know, the crown will be taken out of the frets, so I'll have to re-crown it. Now that's good. You really want to make sure all the frets are level. Now certain things can alter the shape of necks and stuff like that, climate change, hot to cold really quick. You can get fret sprout, it's happened a couple of times. But that's easily fixed also. But what you want to do is get these perfectly level first. Get them absolutely level. And that doesn't take too long. You will know when it's there, because you won't feel a brrrr as you go along. So yeah, that's what we'll do now. And it's nice, slow, even strokes with this. Start off, make sure it's centered. You just go along it. Then we'll go past the ends. Sort of rock your body back and forward as well, so you know you're keeping a straight line. and you'll start to see the frets flattening out. Here I'm still getting that brrr sort of sound there as I go along. And every like 10 strokes or so, clean off the fingerboard. It's like this, like a horsehair brush. No horses were damaged in the making of this brush, by the way. They just got a haircut. You know, like a barber shop for horses. Horses for courses. Wipe off the sandpaper a bit and go again. Trying to keep it even. And we'll do 10 strokes here. Two more. There you go. Now I can see that flattening at the edges somewhat, which means they're not properly seated, not really well seated at the edges. But we can change that by further clamping them down, gluing them in a bit, maybe. I don't use I don't use cyano to glue the frets in. I've never done that. You know, I believe that the next guy in there should be able to get the frets out with minimal problems. So we're going to keep doing that, get this levelled, then we'll get out our crowning files and we'll re-crown the frets. Cool. Okay, I've levelled out all the frets now to a 16-inch radius on the neck there. Oh, by the way, do you like this? I've got this, somebody made this for me that, you know, has been a long time friend of mine. Myra Hernandez made this, wife of Jeff Anderson, or Jay, as he likes to get called. Made this for me and gave this to me last Saturday. I was very happy, so I'm going to wear that in memoriam type thing. Yeah, with these frets, what I've done is I took a Sharpie. You can take any colour Sharpie as long as it's visible, and you use, excuse me, use one of these and mark the frets, just darken them in with colour. Then you will take what's called a crowning file, and this is for wide jumbo and medium jumbo, this one. And what we do is, well, I use medium jumbo on this neck, and we will try and get this line very narrow. So a black line, you'll see the metal shine through. You can see that line in this one. You probably can't, but there's a line there. I try and get this line as narrow as possible and even all the way across the fret. That way I know that the fret is crowned correctly. So here we go. Angle it a bit when you're going there. Angle it a bit when you're coming back. Make sure you're following the radius of the neck. And there is a nice line there. Horsehair brush. Push that away. Okay, I need to come in here a little bit. Angle up a little bit. Just take a little bit off there. That's good. And this side too. Now you notice I don't have any like protective tape on the fingerboard. That's because this has safe edges, but they can still damage. So if you're not confident, I would put painter's tape on every fret before you start, and you'll be fine. There we go. This dark line is even all the way along the fret. There's jaggy edges at the end of the fret, but we're going to deal with that after we crown them. That requires a safe edge file just to smooth off the edges there so you don't rip your hands apart when you're playing. Indeed. So yeah, that's how you crown a fret, and I've got a bunch to go. I have to do that 24 times, and then I'll be rounding off the edges of the fret, which is 48 because it's a 2-octave neck. Okay, so all there is to it, it's just a bit of patience and you'll be fine. Okay, so here we go then. We're doing the edges of the frets. Get all the burr off it from the leveling and crowning. They're all crowned now. Nice small lines of ink still left on the frets to ensure evenness. Now, a good test, if you do forget where you are, I always put the file where I left off. I have to take a break, you know, like go pee or something, you know, and just take this and go like, you'll see it. Oh, see, you'll see it tug, and you can use your fingers too. I mean, you can feel that. Even though I've got like base fingers, like calluses and stuff, I can still feel that, so I know where I am. So I'll take this, and this has a safe edge on it, and I'll just round that off. See that? I'll come this side to do that, and then the top. Be careful with the top, because now you're doing this and there's no safe edges. So if you're really unsure about it, use tape. Just mask off the entire fretboard. I've done this often enough that yeah, now I can drag that cloth away. There's no tug. Okay. Same with this side. Just draw it in. Very gentle. So you're going to polish these up anyway. That will further decrease the burr on a fret. Okay. There you go. No problems. I mean, these terracotta cloths, I mean, you might think they're rags. Don't discard them, because you can get all sorts of stuff going on, you know, with this. Test things out, you know, just to feel sharp edges and stuff. I'll do another one. Just scoop round, nice and easy. Nice and easy. Do not rush this. I'm telling you, you'll spend more time with repairs if you hurry it. Beautiful. Come back in here. You know, I'm holding it like that so I've got stability. And again, that side, and see, reverse the finger, come round. That's a big jaggy there. Whoa, it's big jaggy. I have to come back the way for that one. And flip the side of the file for, you know, for abrasiveness. We're going to get polished, remember, so, and that's perfect. Nobody going to rip their hands on that. So again, place it there. That's the one I just did. I'm moving on to this one now. Or you can put the file there to, that's the one I'm going to do now, you know. Cool. Righty, yes indeed. So I had forgotten to polish this up way back when, yeah, a couple of months ago. Yeah, so we're going to polish it up. I'm going to go straight to the polishing compound because it's not that bad really. I'll work with it, and I want sort of a satin finish on this anyway to contrast with the body, which is high gloss, using a medium pad here just on a drill. I do have the polisher here. It's kind of overkill for this, and I'll just use the Norton's liquid ice. I'll do a medium and then I'll do a fine polishing pad on it. So we've already shaken this up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put some on here, see if it comes out. There we go. Just a little drop. Glove. Put that in. And an overabundance of these now. That's another story. Just rub that in a bit. Let's put this to the side. Let's put a little dot on the workpiece so that it glides. And we'll just smear that around sort of evenish. It doesn't need to be absolutely even. And now I'm going to polish. Okay. Semi-firm pressure on, don't press too hard. And just do that. Okay, let's inspect. Grab a shop towel, wipe that off. That looks really good actually. Wow. Now I do have a chemical that will take all this polishing compound off. You've probably seen me show this before, some chemical guys. It is right there. Polishing pad cleaner. Also cleans up the workpiece. So, you know, don't be sparing on the shop towels here. It's better if you get a cleaner surface rather than just skimping on the shop towels there. And there you go, and that came out really well, really well. I've got the satin finish I want. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move up to the finer pad. Might give that a once over actually. No, it doesn't need it. It really doesn't. And the wood's showing through there nicely. I'll move up to a finer pad, but also I'm going to use these cotton swabs, Q-tips, cotton buds, whatever you need to call them. We'll dig some of that stuff out of there before we continue. It's just good to keep things clean as you're going along all the time, you know, so you don't have any extra work to do at the end. These ones are okay though, and this cleaning stuff does a great job. I mean, really fantastic job. And there you go. There we go. Go right there too. And that excess I'm not too worried about. Now, as you see, I've used a piece of plywood here, scrap plywood. This is double side taped down to the bench, and then I've screwed the control plate onto it so it's nice and flat still. There's no warpage there or anything, because you know, if you'll get uneven polishing if you polish a work surface. So I'm going to go ahead and do this and catch you in a minute. Okay folks, that's about it for part 10. I think that's all we've got time for just now. In part 11 we'll hopefully have the electronics installed and the pickup installed, and we'll see if this thing actually makes a noise. So until then, as usual, stay safe, be good, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks very much for watching, folks. Cheers. Bye-bye.